Hello everyone, welcome to your next data structure lecture. I'm Professor RVD, and in this lecture we would be doing sixth topic of your second module, that is applications of stack. So let us start listing out the various applications of stack. Based on the last in first out manner, you can see the various applications of stack. Like the first one is processor uses stack for normal function calling. Now you know the main function is where the program starts. Now if main calls another function, let's say f1, then obviously the control has to be transferred to f1, but with the condition that when the f1 function will get over, the control has to come back to main. And that's the reason it is always required to keep a track of this particular function calling. So when main calls function 1, your main will be kept on a stack, like the kind of a state of the function will be kept on a stack. When f1 in turns calls, let's say f2, then f1 goes on stack. f2 calls f3, so f2 goes on stack. Let us to make it more worse. Let's say f3 calls f1 again, so f3 goes on stack. Now we are in f1, but which was not called by main, which was called by f3. Now we will not have any problem because when f1 will get over, it will pop from the stack. Now what it gets is f3, so f1 goes back to f3. When f3 finishes pop, it gets f2. f2 finishes pop, it gets f1, and when f1 finishes, when it pops, it gets main. So to keep a track of all this function calling, your processor uses stack. The second one is obviously stack is also used heavily in case of recursion. You would see somewhat similar kind of diagram, which I have not drawn here, because you can very well make use of a function, you can make use of a recursion tree. And as we had main calling f1, f1 calling f2, in recursion the function is going to call with itself. So you can see when maybe, let's say, if you look at the factorial function, fact4 calls fact3, then fact4 is going on the stack, and so on. So maybe similar diagram could also be drawn here. It is quite the same, but we wanted to highlight the recursion, so we had written this as a separate application, that stack is also used heavily in case of recursion. The next application of stack is for number system conversion. Here we have taken the example of binary number system. See, why do we need stack here? Because let's say for 13, the expected output is 1101, the binary representation of 13. But when I do 13 mod 2, okay, and div 2, mod 2, div 2 till it becomes 0, the problem is I get the remainders in the reverse order. And that's the reason we make use of stack. So whenever I start with 13 mod 2 is 1, so 1 is pushed onto the stack. 13 div 2 is 6, which is not shown. 6 mod 2 is 0, push. 6 div 2 is 3, then 3 mod 2 is 1, push. 3 div 2 is 1. 1 mod 2 is also 1, push. 1 div 2 is 0. So once we got 0, what we just have to do is pop from the stack and you arrange it in the order in which you're going to pop, and you will get the answer. The obvious reason behind this is whenever you push onto the stack and when you pop it back, you get it in the reverse order. And hence, this way we can use stack for number system conversion. The next application is for checking the palindrome string. All of you know palindrome is when the string and its reverse both are same. And just now we had seen that if at all we push and we pop it back, we get the reverse. So if at all I want to check whether the string is palindrome or not, you have to push the string character by character onto the stack, and when you're going to pop it, okay, you can keep on checking. Ideally, if it's a palindrome, you will not get a single mismatch. Like for the first example, ABCBA, when you push it and when you keep on popping, you compare with the original, it will always match. So obviously the string is palindrome. But suppose the string is ABCDA, when you keep on pushing, after that when you start popping, okay, your A is popped, matched with A, but when you pop D, it is not matching with the second character, that is B. And hence we would say it is mismatch and it is not palindrome. So again, the basic idea of getting reverse from the stack is being used here. The next application is to check the continuity of parentheses. See, ideally, for every opening bracket, we should have a closing bracket. Okay, and rather the corresponding opening should be before closing. And that too, the type of the operators must also be same. See, if you only consider single type of parenthesis, like only round bracket and all, we don't even have to go up to stack. We can do it by a normal simple logic also. But when we have somewhat this situation, now here if I use a normal logic for opening, I have a closing and opening is before closing. So a normal logic would say yes, this is valid. But here the type of parenthesis is different, and hence we have to make use of stack. Now stack uses a very simple logic. Whenever we see opening bracket, push. Whenever we see closing bracket, we have to pop the stack, and the type of the closing that you got and the type of the opening you got from the stack must be compared. You have to compare the type, not the characters. Okay, if they are of the same type, then there is no problem. You can keep on going ahead. And if you haven't got a single mismatch, then the expression is valid. For example, here when we get a brace, we push. Whenever we are getting closing bracket, we pop, and then we compare it with the one which we had popped from. So it is not matching. They are not of the same type. So it is an invalid expression. Whereas you look at the second example, brace is pushed, again bracket is pushed. When you get a closing bracket, you pop from the stack, and both of them are of the same type. When you get a closing brace, again you pop from the stack, and again they are of the same type. So the expression is valid. Okay, that is how we can check it for continuity of parenthesis. Now the next application is for converting infix to postfix. Okay, so I will not discuss this in detail right now because we have a topic coming after the applications in which we will be looking at the expression conversion. But just to complete the application of stack, this is my infix expression a plus b into c, which I need to convert to postfix. So postfix is where the operator is after the operand. So the simple logic is, if you get a, you print. When you get plus, you push it onto the stack. B, print. Star, you push it onto the stack. C, print. Then obviously the expression is over. So you pop the star, you print. You pop the plus, you print. And this is how you'll get the postfix expression. Okay. This is only one of the simple example to just use for application. The other complexity of the variety of expressions and what are the different rules, we will see when we actually go for that particular topic. Okay, so currently we understood that stack is used for conversion of infix to postfix. Okay, the next and the last application of stack is stack is used to evaluate postfix expression. Okay, so for example, this is my infix expression 2 plus 3 into 5. Just now we had seen that it could be converted to postfix using stack only. So I got 2, 3, 5 star plus. Now if I want to evaluate, okay, I've got a simple rule. If I get operands, I'll keep on pushing them onto the stack. Now I got a next operator, so I'll pop, but you obviously are popping in the reverse order. So the first thing you pop will be second operand. The next thing you pop will be the first operand. You apply the operator, 3 5s are 15, and that will be pushed onto the stack. So this is how the stack looks like. Now obviously the next is not being kept here, which is obvious. So next is plus. So if you can visualize, for plus, we'll pop 15 as OP2, pop 2 as OP1, 2 plus 15 will be 17, and that will be pushed onto the stack. Okay, so it is expected that maybe next step you could write, because here our intention was just to show how stack is used for the evaluation. So finally 17 stays on the stack, expression is over. So when you pop the stack, you should be able to get the answer on the stack. Fine, so these are the various applications of the stack. So when you get a theory question, okay, what are the different applications of stack, or what are the different applications of push down list? This is what you need to write. Now, as I already mentioned, some of the applications which we have written are there for the implementation. Okay, so we obviously would be working on the applications and we will be implementing them. Fine, so that we would do in the coming lectures. For this lecture, that's it. We've completed applications of stack. Fine, thank you.